Hello, my name is Luis Miguel Arriaza, and here I am presenting my final project of a website for Second Chance Video Games located in Salem, Massachusetts. On the homepage, you will be able to navigate through the navigation bar, which has 4 pages of navigation as well as a return to the home screen, as clicking right there. You will also have an animation where it rotates the store logo 360. Then you will also be able to see update in color as you hover over the next navigation pages. We'll go more in detail about what the pages are. I have a banner right here where it says that you're welcome to Second Chance Games. Then you are followed by the mission, where Second Chance Games, we buy, trade, repair anything for your gaming needs. Then the location and the stores of operation. After that, you are greeted with a slideshow, and this slideshow cycles through different photos of the storefront. Afterwards, you go below where it shows our collection of games, which is the games that the Second Chance Games has in its inventory, similar to if you go on Walmart or Target. It will show you their leading brands. Here you'll be able to hover over with a similar hover animation, and it'll give you a little bit of the history of when the consoles were released, as with the Xbox console. Some of them were released on November 22nd, November 15th of their respective years, and as well as how many of those games the game store actually has in stock. And then underneath on the bottom, you have a contact us as a footer, where you have the phone number, an email address, and then another little navigation which also updates where you hover with a red background to their social medias. Going into the events page, we have 2 flex boxes that contained an image and then text. This text has a little animation when you hover over it, where it just talks about the Retro Mania, which is where Second Chance hosts their own gaming convention, and then Retro Expo, which is a convention they attend. After that, you are also greeted by another flexbox, which contains 2 paragraphs talking about how you're able to enter a raffle, what the raffle's about, and how many entries and the cost of it. If you were to scroll up and click Fill on Form here, it will bring it down as it's an anchor tag that brings you to the form to be able to fill out, which shows some recommendations on what you're able to fill in, as it will autofill, and a drop-down menu where PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, if in actuality you were to pay for your raffle online, if this was a live server. Moving to the next page, it is the sales, where I have a banner in the middle showing pre-Black Friday sales, where if this were to be updated regularly, now it would be probably changed to holiday sales, as it has passed at the time of this recording. It has passed Black Friday. Then you will also be able to hover over these collapsibles, and they'll be able to show an update in their color. And if you click and toggle them, it opens the collapsible to show some information for the Mixer boxes being random, the pop figures being buy one get one free, the bargain bins being $1, and then the deal of the day, which would also be updated regularly if this were a live server, to whatever the deal of the day would be, and then followed by the footer. Then we have services, where there's a table that supports a poster talking about the cost and the types of repairs and how long those repairs take place. Then we have another service that the store provides, which is trade-ins for store credit or for cash, which it bases its prices on price charting. Then you'll be able to calculate, as it's $11 plus $2 for bringing this game in, you get $13. That's what the calculator, as it also updates if you hover over to the color palette of the store. Then in the About section, you'll be able to find out the history of the store and how it originated from a flea market to some selling knickknacks and to what it is today. And then another flex box containing the merch that it has, which is t-shirts and rugs. Then if we were to make this smaller, you will be able to see that it is a responsive website, where it makes the navigation bar turn into a little block, where you'll be able to hover through and be able to go back in between the website. Moving alongside with that, it brings me to talk a little bit about my code, where I will talk about 2 things that I find very much interesting with my code. For starters, I like that I'm able to use media queries to be able to have this level of responsiveness. As you can see, I have it where when the screen is small, it won't display the whole navigation bar, and then it will display the sidebar when it's at, it won't display the sidebar when it's at maximum. That's one thing, using media queries to be able to have some responsiveness. Then the other thing I also find interesting is being able to have my slideshow as shown at the very beginning. This slideshow is basically just a whole row of images all in one line, but they're being translated together and overlaid on top of each other to be able to have this slideshow effect. All of it is just being changed between the X and Y coordinates of the image, even though realistically it is one long thread of an image aligned next to each other. When it comes to challenges I endured in the code, I would say the feature right here, which is in my sales section with the collapsibles. That was the most challenging thing, as I had first started with one collapsible, the mystery box, but as you can see right here, there is an input type with checkbox. I had to make multiple versions of this. As you can see, input checkbox, toggle 2, and then this one's toggle 1. As if we go in, they have to have unique classes and unique IDs, just so I'd be able to determine when clicking it, it only opens its respective ones. It was a coding issue where every time I clicked this one, all of them would open at once. So that was a challenge I had to do, which was just playing around with, instead of having them be classes, I had to use them as IDs. And then a final feature I have that I'm also very much proud of is having music. I muted it probably because you won't be able to hear me if during the presentation because of it, but those would be the things that I would say I am most proud of and found most interesting development, would be the use of the media queries to be able to hide an inclusion, to be able to hide and have the navigation bar be responsive, as well as having the slideshow through use of translation. And then the challenges would be the collapsible. And then, of course, also the very much the inclusion of music within my code. Thank you for watching my presentation. Let me know if there are any questions. Thank you.